How often do you update your software? Have you ever seen this screen? How many times have you done this? Or this? How often do you think businesses do this? We decided to find out. So what is our project? The topic for our research was to investigate the cost and benefits of choosing antiquated or current technologies. So how did we approach our project? We started by contacting several companies and asking for interviews. Next, we carried out the interviews. We then summarized the results from our interviews. Then we conducted our own research on the topic of system upgrades. We also investigated trends in adopting new technologies. The results. We got a chance to carry out several interviews with some large businesses. We asked them questions about software, hardware, and business dependency regarding upgrading. Here are some of our results. For software, most companies' upgrading decisions are based on software supportability, business functionality and capabilities, and the risk migration and cost. Having the most up-to-date software wasn't a concern. They preferred just to have their software in a supported state, or release 2 policies, since this way they believed more of the bugs have been worked out once they get the software. Service packs and maintenance releases are implemented monthly or sooner if there's an urgent need for improved functionality. These companies followed documented change management protocols, implementing weekly changes and sometimes involved a varying amount of testing, depending on the size of the change. Change windows are scheduled for nights and weekends for the most part. Important risk factors the businesses took into consideration when deciding to implement newer technologies were software costs, user training time, newer change management protocols for employees, time and effort for testing, and stability of new software. Importance or rewards that the businesses took into consideration when deciding to implement the newer technologies were additional functionality, better fit with the components in the IT architecture, and possible lower operating costs. Additional reasons why businesses upgrade found from our research were increased productivity of employees and an overall improved business image. These businesses felt a sense of urgency to implement newer technologies based on the business's changing and demanding newer processes not supported by current software. In terms of hardware, they believe that in terms of risks, they explain that newer technologies sometimes don't function as well with older software and can cause a risk to previously smooth work environment. Also, their staff needs to be trained on how the newer technologies function. They believe that in terms of rewards, newer technologies are more compatible with newer applications and have increased performance speeds. The company tends to lease their hardware. Every 3 to 4 years seem to be the average leasing time. When the lease is up, they lease newer hardware to stay current and supported. Some of the oldest equipment, though, is 4 to 5 years, and it requires more repairs, but still runs, so they continue to use them until they cease to work for their purposes. Trends in upgrading. When was the last time you installed the newest version of your browser? We decided to research some market share trends for browsers to give us a better understanding of how often upgrades are occurring and whether people are updating to newer products or not. Here's what we found. Since 2007, market shares on Internet Explorer seem to be decreasing as Chrome started taking a share of the market. Currently, these browser families are fairly even in market shares. The trends seem to outline a steady switch to the newer Chrome browser. Our research shows that people tend to be switching to Chrome because of its speed. We also found some trends on people using Internet Explorer web browser. It appears that people steadily start using the newer browser version over time, possibly when they're limited by previous versions' performance. Trends on other browsers show that within 21 days of a new version for the browser being released, nearly all, 99.7% of Chrome users have updated to the newest version, while only about 85% of Firefox users have updated, and Safari and Opera users are much lower percentage. Why is this? Taking a look at the update process for different browsers, Chrome both applies its updates automatically, and it doesn't suspend the use of the browser while installing or prompt the user to restart the browser when finished. This form of silent upgrading is shown to be extremely effective. We also found some statistics on mobile browsers. When it comes to web browsers, people seem to be choosing speed and convenience over anything else. Along with web browsers, we also thought it would be fun to take a look at some trends in operating systems. What we concluded is people are steadily upgrading to newer operating systems. From our research, this upgrading seems to be due to improved security. Other than security, software and hardware compatibility is a large part of this upgrading as well. iOS was also a topic of discussion when it came to upgrading. These stats were taken from the user basis of an audiobooks app. As you can see, the majority of the users are using the newest minor version of the iOS, due to restrictions on content from older versions. The lowdown on upgrading. Last year, Skype, Symantec, the creators of Norton, and TomTom launched International Technology Upgrade Week as an initiative to promote home users to download the newest free software updates to their devices. Never heard of it? That's because it wasn't just created for these companies to make money off us. It was created to teach consumers the benefits of upgrading their software and to show them that upgrading isn't as scary as it used to be. The initiative was started after some shocking statistics were found after surveying people in the UK, US, and Germany about software upgrading. What they found was that 40% of adults don't always upgrade software when prompted to. The top reasons for upgrading were to keep my computer safe and secure from viruses and hackers, ensures my software is free of bugs and crashes less often. I want to make sure that I have the latest and greatest features. Upgrades are often free. The top reasons for not upgrading were, I worry about the security of my computer, they take too long to do, there is no real benefit to me, I don't understand what the upgrades will do, they slow down my computer, new versions of software have lots of bugs or crash too often. On another interesting note, it reported that men upgrade software when prompted to more than women do, and 3/4 of adults say they get notifications telling them to upgrade, but about a quarter don't understand what the software upgrades do, another quarter say they need to see the prompt twice, and the last quarter doesn't know how to check if the software needs to be upgraded. The companies responsible for International Technology Upgrade Week see upgrading as a chance to give you access to cool new features and the latest security updates. When deciding whether or not to upgrade to a newer software version, the following questions were suggested in order to evaluate the need for an upgrade. Is the current version still supported? Does the new version have some features that will improve efficiency and performance? Has the software been out long enough to detect problems or security risks? Are file format compatibility issues apparent? What types of questions do you ask yourself when prompted with software upgrades?